On behalf of the National Weather Service in Raleigh, this is your winter storm briefing for this weekend's winter event. And this is Nick Petro here at the National Weather Service in Raleigh. And this briefing is as of 11:30 on the 13th of January 2022. So there's one thing I really want to call out to your attention, and that is the 5 things to know. I'm going to just highlight this first because, as with any winter storm, we need to know these 5 points as we head forward. Number 1, snow and ice totals can vary greatly over short distances. So, you know, we strive to be correct and right for every spot, but given that things can vary over short distances, there's always going to be a small area or zone where things just don't work out. That's the nature of winter storms. Okay, winter storms can change frequently. Forecast change as new model data come in, especially here in the Carolinas. Every single model that comes in, and they're come in 4 times a day, there's always subtle differences. So that's why it's especially important to check for updates. Number 3, focus more on the winter storm's impact. Don't focus too much on the numbers and consider the full range of possibilities. The impacts are what we really need to, keep our eyes on. Number 4, certainly knowing weather terminology is important. What's the difference between watches, warnings, and advisories? And then number 5, rely on a dependable source for weather information. And what we mean by that is there's always anybody can go on social media and post raw model graphics. Okay, and there's dozens, if not hundreds, of different models out there, and you can find a model that shows exactly what you are looking for. So if you don't want it to snow, I guarantee you could find a model that shows that. If you want to get buried in snow, I guarantee you're going to find a model that shows that. So just always, and that's why experts here at the National Weather Service do what we do. So we filter through that data using our experience and our knowledge of the atmosphere in the local area to figure out and sort through all the data and figure out exactly what is the best, most likely solution. So number 5, always rely on a dependable source for weather information. All right, now that that's out of the way, certainly want to highlight the 5 big hazards: snow, ice, wind, power outages, and hazardous travel are the obvious ones. So, impact-wise for snow, how much snow and how much ice, it's a little too early to say exactly how much, right? Because we're still 4 days away from this happening. And clearly there's going to be some deviations, some differences in each model run. But this is starting to look more like a typical winter storm, a classic winter storm for the Carolinas, central North Carolina. So, as we frequently say, what area has the best chance to see snow? Well, of course, it's along and north of I-85. That's the places that always have the best chance. Maybe the northern I-95 corridor. Those places always tend to stay the coldest and see the most in the way of accumulation. Okay, and if that happens in this case, it'll be on Sunday, starting as early as pre-dawn hours. Okay, what about freezing rain? Well, again, there's always a transition. Rarely do we have a winter storm here in the Carolinas that offers one precip type. Almost every winter storm brings a variation of rain, of freezing rain, of sleet and snow. It's very difficult to have a uniform one type of precipitation for winter storms here in the Carolinas. So somewhere in the central North Carolina, Sandhills, western coastal plain counties, central northern I-95 corridor, somewhere in that general area. And again, that fits with climatology. There'll probably be an accumulation of freezing rain and ice. Again, Sunday morning. And then, the further east you go, that's where the warmer air is. So once you get east of I-95, that's probably the places that will see the most rain. Okay, and then, of course, with that ice, there's always the risk for tree branches that get weighed down and break. The wind can add to that. So we think there could be gusts of 20 to 30 miles per hour. This is going to be a deepening storm system. It's going to be strengthening as it moves across the Carolinas. So look for, with that strengthening, there's going to be some wind gusts up to 30 miles an hour. And that could result in the falling of weak trees and tree branches And that's pretty much anywhere in central North Carolina on Sunday. Obviously, with downed trees, there'll be some power outages. So get ready for some power outages. That's almost a given. Somewhere, there's going to be power outages. Anywhere in central North Carolina, but particularly where the greatest ice accumulations occur, again, on Sunday. And then finally, I apologize for the typo there. That should be travel. Travel will be dangerous where snow and ice accumulations occur. And again, that'll be Sunday through Monday morning. All right. So kind of going out on sticking my neck out here and going out on a limb by showing this. This is probably actually a little too early to show this, but I'm going to go ahead and kind of show you anyway because it fits with what I just mentioned. But this is a precipitation type maps, okay, to show the evolution of the storm and the timing of the storm. And there's a little down at the lower left, you can see sort of a legend of the colors, okay? Now, this is one particular model, one model that's doing a decent job, I think. And that particular scenario says that precipitation will overspread the state from west to east Saturday evening, okay? If obviously, it's colder, obviously, in the foothills of mountains, so look for, snow to begin there. But then as we get into the overnight hours into Sunday morning, a wintry mix will develop and be ongoing across much of the state by early Sunday morning, particularly, again, the overnight hours. And precipitation types will be mostly snow and heavy at times along the north of I-85 corridor. And again, that's very, very typical, very climatologically speaking, that's typically where it happens. And then somewhere between the I-85 corridor and the I-95 corridor, somewhere in that zone, and I was going to try to not do this, but I'll go ahead and do it anyway. I'm going to get my highlighter out. But somewhere in this zone here, there's always, a transition, a mixture of precipitation types. And basically overnight into Sunday morning, we expect somewhere in that zone, maybe extending a little bit further east, that there's going to be a period of mixed precipitation types, sleet, maybe some freezing rain, rain as you get further south, closer to the state line with South Carolina. But then as we head into later Sunday morning, with that rain should allow enough cooling that, again, that corridor between I-85 and I-95, and again, using my drawing tool here, somewhere in this zone, there's going to be a period of accumulating ice, okay, from freezing rain. Now, these lines, again, going back to that initial graphic on my first slide, remember, things could change very subtly. And, if you're on the border of one of these transitions, you may end up with all rain, or you may end up with more freezing rain. It's just subtle shifts in the track and temperature profiles could really change things dramatically if you're on one of these precipitation type changing lines, if you will. But basically, moderate to heavy snow we think will continue along and north of that should be I-85. I apologize, but I-40 in the triad westward. And I'll get these typo corrections here fixed before I email these slides out. But certainly keep in mind that a corridor of accumulating freezing rain and ice is likely to occur where I just pointed out in that zone. And I'm going to change this right now. So again, so that people don't get confused. There you go. There's that correction. We'll continue along and north of I-85 with the transition to sleet and freezing rain south and east toward I-95. Okay, so east of I-95, precipitation will change to all rain by late morning. Okay, so the warm air is coming with this storm. Okay, the storm track is far enough west where it's going to allow warm air to move in from the south and the east. Now, if for some reason this storm track changes and the low pressure center takes a further south track, then the frozen type precipitations would be further east. But again, the track looks like right at this point it's going to be far enough west where we'll see either liquid or a changeover to liquid, particularly along and east of I-95 by late morning Sunday. That warm air will continue to push north and westward so that by early afternoon Sunday, the precipitation type will most likely change to rain as far west as the US 1 corridor. And then west of there, the wintry mix will continue. So, clearly as I'm painting these pictures, you could see where the worst of the travel will likely be. And that is, along and north of the I-85 corridor, as it typically is with this type of winter scenario. Finally, by late in the day, looks like some dry air is going to really make a move around the backside of the storm. We call this oftentimes the dry slot. It's a very potent dry slot. It's going to wrap around into the storm and begin to shut off the precipitation, perhaps as early as late afternoon Sunday, and then by Sunday evening, it should all be over. Okay, so that's the way. Again, the period of the worst weather, we're talking in the pre-dawn hours Sunday through the afternoon, and then the precip ends during the evening. Now, clearly travel impacts, particularly, along the north of 85, will continue into Sunday night and Monday as efforts are made to clear the roads. Okay, but obviously, the temperatures are going to be key, because here are high temperatures both Sunday and Monday, and you can see where it stays the coldest across the western half of the state. But luckily by Monday will offer an opportunity for some snow and ice melt, because you'll see temperatures are forecast to climb up into the low to mid 40s, and there'll be plenty of sunshine Monday. So there should be a good opportunity for some snow and ice melt on Monday. Now, low temperatures early Sunday morning obviously are going to be cold enough to support either snow or mixed P types. But I want to focus on Monday morning. Look how cold it's going to be Monday morning. Obviously, a snow and ice pack will drive the temperatures down to these levels. Anytime there's snow or ice pack, we always, that contributes to the cold. So look for low temperatures, particularly, where there's snowpack, to be in the teens. And really getting down to the mid 20s as far west as, as far east as I-95. So obviously black ice may be a concern. Obviously any snow or ice pack left on the roads will be a concern. So travel Monday morning, if there's a need to travel, will be, potentially and likely to be hazardous continuing. I wanted to add this too. Wind gusts, again, storm system will have occasional wind gusts in excess of 25 miles per hour. Obviously, it'll be higher along the coast and in the mountains, where it typically is stronger. So again, this could result in down trees, subsequent power outages, and we need to be ready for that, ready for power outages. All right, so kind of wrapping this up, again, our confidence is moderate. Obviously the models are converging on a solution. But what we have, why it's not high, the lack of high confidence in this case is because we just, can't 4 days ahead nail down exactly how much and exactly where those transitions are. Obviously, the closer we get, the higher the confidence will be. Again, the period of greatest impact will be Sunday, starting the pre-dawn hours, lasting through the afternoon before precip ends. But travel and ice impacts will continue through Sunday night into Monday, where there's snow and ice pack. And again, accumulating snow is likely beginning late Saturday night, early Sunday morning, and then multiple wintry precip types during the morning hours on Sunday. Again, I can't emphasize this enough. We're still 4 days away. Changes to the forecast details are inevitable. So I want to encourage everyone to stay tuned to future updates as we're able to fine-tune the forecast details as we get closer to Sunday. All right. If you do end up taking these slides and sharing these with anybody, be sure to help spread this graphic around, the 5 things to know. I think I started out my briefing with this. I'd like to end the briefing with this, and just know that you want to rely upon dependable sources for info, and just know that again, snow and ice totals can vary greatly over short distances. And again, we're 4 days away. There'll be some changes. That's inevitable. We're going to tweak things. We're here 24/7, 365. This is the first of a series of webinars. We'll do this webinar again, same time. Well, actually, no, I apologize. We're going to do another webinar at 4:30 this afternoon. Same method, same place, so that I can share with you any changes that come with the afternoon forecast package. And then we're going to move the webinar time up earlier. Tomorrow we're going to do one at 9 a.m. and that'll be the case Friday, Saturday, and Sunday mornings, 9 a.m. webinars and 4:30 p.m. webinars each day. And that will be the case right through the storm. I will email these slides out after I make a few typo corrections to them and get those out, and they'll be posted on our webpage and social media methods as well. So again, same time, same place this afternoon at